Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I don't think I've been this excited for a video in a very long time. From the title you can tell that we are talking about my two favorite things of all time, books and Harry Styles. There is nothing I love more than books and Harry Styles. I'm gonna be going through some Harry Styles songs that I picked out the other night. I chose some books that go along with the lyrics, so if it's your favorite Harry Styles song or you like Harry Styles, you want a book that resonates with your favorite song you like, whatever it being, I have a book rec for you. I didn't do every single Harry Styles song. I was gonna do it just his newest album, Harry's House, but I decided to go from the start. I have a few from each album. I have most from Harry's House, but I do have a good amount from each album. This all started because one, it was recommended a lot, but I'm not really good at relating words and lyrics to books. I can do it and I can be like, oh, this book would be great for this song, but I can't explain it like verbally. I have lyrics for each book. I have like the message that the song says for each book, but you're just gonna take my word on it. You know, some of them you just feel like that's what that book resonates with. Do you know what I mean? And that's why I've held off on this, because I'm not good at explaining things, you know? So I'm gonna try really hard and you're just gonna have to trust me on this one. I am, in honor of this, wearing my late night talking shirt. This is from an Instagram account, Mustard Yard Press. I have a bunch of Harry stuff from there. We're gonna get right into it. Where's my phone? I'm actually gonna switch out my case. I have my Casetify cases. These are the cases that I have. Appreciate originality, just like a plain white case, and it has those words on it. For the good days ahead with the clouds in the background. I love this one. This one's kind of like a cartoon drawing type of case. I love this one. I think it's so cool. And then You're My Favorite Person in the World. That's the one that's been on my phone. I think I'm gonna go with the clouds ones. Let's match my shirt. So a little bit about Casetify and their cases, if you don't know. Their new EcoShock technology has optimized case protection, so you could drop your phone up to 11.5 feet and it will be fine. I'm gonna show you that. We're gonna go downstairs. I'm gonna drop my phone from that high of a height. This is my case before. It's perfectly fine. My phone is also not scratched, clear. Let's go drop my phone and test it out. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. No scratches. They are so confused. So my phone is fine, as you saw. They also have military standards, so their cases are 5 times military standard, which means it's been drop tested 130 times to ensure that the EcoShock doesn't wear off. So you can continuously drop your phone and your case and your phone will be fine. I have a habit of dropping my phone literally all the time. And then along with the EcoShock, since it has like the bumpers on the side and everything, they also balance the EcoShock with the sleekness of the cases, which is so amazing because we don't like bulky cases, you know, putting in your pocket, carrying it around with you. You want a sleek case. So they've managed to achieve optimal protection, but also having the sleekness in the cases. And then the best part is their sustainability. Their iPhone 14 cases are made from 65% plant-based and recycled material, and they're made partially from upcycled phone cases as a part of their Recasetify program, which gives new life to post-consumer waste. For the cases, you can get prints that are already made on their website. They have so many options, it's actually crazy. But aside from the prints that are already on the website, you can also customize a case, which is so fun. You can put your name on it. I have a phone case from Casetify with my dog's name on it. So many options along with the regular printed cases. So whether you're upgrading your iPhone or not, you can head to Casetify.com for their latest iPhone 14 Impact Case Series, as well as cases for iPhone 13 or earlier. And you guys can also go to Casetify.com/Sarah to get 15% off your order. The code and the link to shop, it will be in the description, so definitely check it out. There's so many fun cases. I highly recommend. I have so many books here that go along with so many songs. You're just gonna have to trust me, like I said, on these. I'm gonna try to explain the best I can. Starting off with my favorite book of all time and my favorite Harry song of all time. That's where all of this has started, because this has been my favorite Harry song since the first album. We're starting with Harry Styles, his first album. And when it came out, it's just, I don't know what it was about it. It resonated with me. It's been my favorite song since it came out. And then this book became my favorite book of all time. And then I listened to the song again, and I really listened to the lyrics after I read the book, and it just completely blew me away how uncanny the resemblance is. First song, From the Dining Table. First book rec is Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. The book, basically, if you haven't heard about it, if you don't know what it's about, the chapters are past and present. So in the past, you have Elliot and Macy meeting when they are younger, childhood friends to lovers, so they connect when they're super young. Macy moves in next door, spends her weekends next door to Elliot, and they just connect and they hit it off. They love books and they love hanging out. They read together. It's so cute. And then you get the present time. It's 11 years later and they haven't spoken and you don't know why. So you get the past and present, you get them connecting and you get them reconnecting kind of, and then you figure out eventually what happened. So the song basically says, we haven't spoke since you went away. Comfortable silence is so overrated. So this song more related to their present time, because when they see each other again, the communication is just, it's hard to talk about it because of what happened happened. Obviously you don't know as you're reading, but looking back on it, you see how they haven't spoken, and Macy's the one that has kind of cut off the communication, and you don't know why she completely ignored him, never answered one of his calls. He continuously tried to reach her, and you don't know why, but she just hasn't reciprocated that. This is my interpretation of the songs, by the way. It's literally obviously not word for word of what he meant, because I don't know what he meant. I don't speak to him. I wish I did. But the song is basically he woke up after the relationship, he's seeing other girls, but like everything is reminding him of her. The person he's talking about won't answer their call. Like it's very similar. If you love that song, or if you want a book that kind of resembles that, 100% read this book. And then after you read it, go back into the song and listen to the lyrics, read the lyrics, and it's crazy. I'm gonna talk about that right now, so there's spoilers. I'm gonna put a timestamp here, so if you haven't read it yet, skip to this time. But if you have read it, please stay, because this is where it gets crazy. So in the song, it says, woke up alone in this hotel room, played with myself, where were you? Fell back to sleep, I got drunk by noon, I never felt less cool. And I relate this song to Elliot's point of view when Elliot woke up and she wasn't there and he thought it was her. But this is the part. Woke up the girl who looked just like you, I almost said your name. When Elliot woke up and he thought it was Macy. Oh my god, this song it resonates with this book so hard. Listen to the song in Elliot's point of view, as if Elliot is singing. Oh, it's so good. Next song we're going to be talking about is Woman. This I have Serenading Heartbreak by Ella Fields. This is a love triangle romance. It's about a girl who has 2 lovers in her lifetime. The first one being more of a childhood, high school lover. It's her brother's best friend. Her brother and him are in a band together, and then they go off touring, so she is kind of left to go to college. And she meets someone in college who's a baseball player. They have a crazy connection, but she can't help thinking about her old one true love, soulmate type of connection. But it was very toxic. He's coming back into her life when she's like finally in this new healthy relationship, and he just in the most toxic way possible has just like jealous rage. And the song, apologies are never gonna fix this, I hope you can see the shape I've been while he's touching your skin. Basically, in the guy's point of view, the old lover who's very toxic keeps coming back and multiple times trying to apologize for what he's done and get her back in his life, and just very jealous over her new boy and newfound relationship. Did that make sense? I think that made sense. It also says promises are broken like his stitches, and he keeps coming back promising her to be better and all this stuff, and it's just like low-key not true. He's very jealous over the new relationships. And then says he's right where I should be, but you're making me bleed. The jealousy over the love triangle trope is in this. And then also I connected this song to The Deal. This is part of the Off-Campus series. This is Garrett and I think Hannah. She wants to be with this guy, and she basically makes a deal with Garrett because he is friends with the guy that Hannah wants to be with. She's gonna tutor him and he's gonna try to help her go out, you know. And they're gonna fake date to try to get the other guy's attention. I don't know, I kind of related it because this one says, I hope you can see the shape I've been in while he's touching your skin, all of that kind of, the jealousy that's there because he grows this thing for her. The connection kind of expands while she's trying to be with someone else, you know. It's like that kind of trope again. And the fake dating and everything where it's like low-key they have a connection but they're not admitting it, all of that. And in his point of view, he is jealous. Another Harry song that is very close to my heart, Ever Since New York, Where We Were Strangers by Renee Carlino. This book is so good. I don't really have too much compared to the song, like lyrics wise, but it's just called Ever Since New York, and this book takes place in New York. Like they met and connected in New York. These 2 people who met in college in New York, their dorms were right next to each other, and they kind of started off as friends. They connected really well as friends, and then they kind of got romantic, and then something happened, and then you get the present where he saw her on the train or subway or something like that, and he's trying to find her again because their connection was just incredible. But I kind of connected it to Ever Since New York because ever since New York, ever since they met, nothing has been the same for him. No one has ever been the same in the love space for him. There was one lyric, I've been praying I never did before. Understand I'm talking to the walls. Like he's praying for her to come back, literally talking to a wall because he can't find her. Tell me something I don't already know. There's just so much miscommunication in this book as well, but I don't know. Very much giving Ever Since New York. 2 ghosts. I have the book The Infinity Between Us. This book is another second chance romance. I don't know, I'm a big sucker for second chance romance, but they met when they were younger, something happened, and then they reconnect, but you don't know what happened. I'm pretty sure this is the one where she's trying to sell the house and she goes back to the house to sell it, but he's there and he is saying just spend the summer with me and then you can sell the house if you still want to by the end of the summer. So they're stuck in this house together trying to not relive the past when they were just like best friends connecting, and then something bad happened. Then you figure it out, obviously. This whole whole section of lyrics. The fridge light washes this room away, moon dances over your good side, and this is all we used to need, like them in the house. Oh, I love it. Tongue-tied like we've never known, telling those stories we already told. So good. And then because we don't say what we really mean, we're not who we used to be, we're just two ghosts standing in the place of you and me. So them in the present time in the house that they grew up in with their families connecting, in comparison to them in the past in that same exact house with the same kitchen light and the same, I don't know, it's just basically the ghost of them is in that house. Do you know what I mean? But they're not the same anymore because something happened. Just bear with me on that one. And then the last one from this album is Sweet Creature. This one, Wreck, is the roughest draft. It's actually by two authors, Emily Wibberley and Austin Sigmund Broca. This book is about two authors who co-wrote a book together at this one house. Like, they spent their time in this house co-writing and like connecting. Then something happened and they're done writing together, and then their contract, I'm pretty sure, says that they have one more book they have to do, so they go back to that house. But obviously something happened. There's so many second chance romances, but this is second chance. But they're stuck in that house together and things are just so awkward and there's just so much not being said, but you can feel the tension, and they're trying to write a book together and they're kind of speaking through the characters in the book. It's really cool the way this is written. Sweet Creature, another one of my favorites, but it says, had another talk about where it's going wrong. We're still young, we don't know where we're going, but we know where we belong. So they're trying to talk it out, they're trying to figure out what's going on without really speaking, and they just don't know what's gonna happen. The miscommunication in this book is crazy. Two hearts in one home. It's hard when we argue, we're both stubborn. They are so stubborn in this book, it's crazy. Like I said, it's miscommunication. They just, no one wants to speak first, but then it says, wherever I go, you bring me home. So they're taking place in a house in Florida, like, you bring me home, they were brought home. Do you know what I mean? All of this makes sense in my head, so I hope it's like connecting with everyone else. On to Fine Line album. First song is Canyon Moon. I connected this to not a romance book, but actually Mary Jane. This book is one of my favorite books of all time. It's just literary fiction about this young girl and the new family she's nannying for. Very unconventional, very hippie, very crazy. They allow free speech. They have musicians with them, and then her house at home is just very strict, very religious. They have a tight schedule. She's not really allowed to do anything at home, so when she goes there, she's free. She's with this crazy, happy, outgoing family. And then just the essence of Canyon Moon, like the vibe of Canyon Moon, kind of just really relates to that book for me. The one little part is just quick pause in conversation. She plays songs I've never heard, and old lovers hippie music, pretends not to know the words. So like Mary Jane is just in this family, they're playing a bunch of music, she's like dancing with them and all this stuff, and like that vibe is there. And it says, I keep thinking back to a time under the Canyon Moon. And she's always thinking about her time there. She loves being with them, you know, with the hippie family. I think these are so similar, the song in this book. Okay, and then I have To Be So Lonely. More Than Words, Mia Sheridan. I hate to say it, but it is another second chance romance. Why am I like this? Why do I have so many? Maybe I should do a second chance romance book recommendations video because I have so many. But this book is basically about two kids that met when they're younger. This isn't past and present. You get right off the bat them connecting when they were younger and then going separate ways, and then when they're older, they both find each other again in Paris. He's a famous composer and he just kind of like disappeared from her life when they were younger, so when she sees him again, she's like, oh my god. He's an infamous like bad boy. Like, he is always with another girl. Like, he's very, I don't know the word, he's just not a good guy at that point. Like, the older version of him is arrogant son of a bitch who can't admit when he's sorry. That is literally him word for word. He's an arrogant son of a bitch. He can't admit when he's sorry. He can't express his feelings that well, but when he tries to, Jessica, the main girl, is trying to just be friends. She's like, we can be friends, we can reconnect, but nothing further. And then in the song it says, I know that you're trying to be friends, it's hard for me to go home and be so lonely. So he's like pining for her. He's going back every night to his hotel room, like wishing that she would just give in and all this stuff, and he's like lonely and all that. That's what I related that song to. Okay, and then we have Falling. This I related it to Addicted to You, specifically the first one before the series keeps going and their addictions get more handled and stuff. This is like the beginning. This is the Addicted series. This is Lily and Lo. The trope in here is fake dating. They're childhood friends, but they both have addictions. Lily's addicted to sex and Lauren is addicted to alcohol, and they kind of just enable each other. Like, they have this low-key thing for each other because they have to fake date in front of their families, but they keep on the fake dating phase so that their families obviously don't find out, and so that they're able to continue with their addictions, so they enable each other. But I just connected Falling in Lauren's point of view because, especially in this book, it just says, I'm in my bed, you're not here, there's no one to blame but the drink in my hand. Forget what I said, you know, they're fighting. He always has obviously a drink in his hand. They're both in a really bad place. And it just says, what if I'm someone I don't want to be around? I'm falling. Like, the both of them are definitely connected to the song and the falling. Like, what if there's someone they don't want to be around? What if I'm down? Like, they're in a very bad place. They just are so consumed by their addictions that they can't handle it at this point in the books and the series. So if you want a sad type of song connected to a book, there you go. Now we're going on to Harry's House. I didn't have much for that album because I had books that I could relate to songs, but I couldn't like express or explain why. Like, it was just vibes for me, but I feel like I need to give explanation. Next is Love of My Life. This book I connected to Lotus. This is a second chance romance. Are we surprised? But this one is different because this is about two childhood friends where they were family friends who lived next door to each other, and then one day he just completely goes missing. Like, he is a missing person for 22 years, and then one day he shows up on the doorstep doorstep and he's back in their lives and has to explain where he's been and try to be a real person again. It just says, maybe you don't know what's lost till you find it. They didn't realize their connection and how much they meant to each other until he comes back and you see them reconnecting. And then it says, we don't really like what's on the news, but it's on all the time. And basically what happened to him is this crazy spectacle. It's everywhere. It's this huge thing. It says, you were the love of my life, you don't know what's lost till you find it. So like, they were each other's everythings when they were younger. Like, they were the best of friends, and you don't know what's lost till you find it, till you find him again, until he comes home. Okay, then we have Cinema. Better than the movies for obvious reasons. The main character girl is just obsessed with romantic comedies, and that's the only reason I connected it with Cinema. But Cinema is just basically him saying, you're cool, you got the cinema, you've got everything. And the guy in here is kind of like the deal, helping her get to someone else. So he like low-key likes her, but they're enemies. It's an enemies to lovers. He thinks she's cool, she doesn't know. She's got the cinema, she loves romantic comedies. It just makes sense, you know? This is a short and sweet explanation because I have nothing else to say. I don't know how else to explain this. The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. Girl's sister is marrying the guy's brother, but they are like enemies. They don't like each other, but something happens where they end up going on the couple's honeymoon, and there's a lot of tension, and you could feel it in the honeymoon suite on the honeymoon, and like being forced to hang out basically. And then despite all of that, like their chemistry is like low-key undeniable. It says, it's you, I'm not getting over it. Is it cool if I'm stubborn when it comes to this? So like, again, the tension, they don't want to be like romantic, but like the romance is there. The next one I have is Matilda. We know what Matilda's about. Broken families, but you can also move on, grow up, be your own person without your family holding you back. 2 books. I have The Heart of the Raven Prince. This is actually a fantasy book. It's a Cinderella retelling mixed with like fae and fairies and whatnot. She's invited to the prince's where he's trying to find a wife, but the stepfamily can only go if she goes, so they all go. She meets the prince. It's the Cinderella retelling. There's like spin on it because it's fantasy. It's not just exactly the Cinderella story. Just like Cinderella, the stepfamily, you know, is horrible, really mean to her. Connected it with Matilda because she can finally grow up and be her own person and get out of her stepfamily's lives and not feel bad about it and not feel tied back because that's who her father was with and all this stuff. Also a really good book. This is one of my 5-star reads. Highly recommend if you're into that. And then I connected it to A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime, another one of my favorite romances by Monica Murphy. This is about, I'm pretty sure, high school couple. He's known as like a player or whatever, and he really is interested in Ren. She's very innocent, she's very pure, but he really wants to try to get to her. Her mom is very cold. She just doesn't have the greatest family, as you find out in the book. I just feel like Matilda is very her family life. I don't really want to explain it because I don't want to give too much away, but Matilda definitely relates to this book in Ren's point of view. Next we have Late Night Talking. This one we have, where's the book? I don't have it. The Summer of Broken Rules. This is about this family who spends their summers together on their little Martha's Vineyard, but they haven't gone in a while because her sister passed away, but they finally go back and she gets this connection with this guy and they spend their days and nights together. And I related it to Late Night Talking because they, like I said, spend their days and nights together. They have sleepovers, they're always up late talking. Literally the essence of this whole song is like the couple in here, and it's YA. It's really cute, really sweet romance. But it's also really fun because the whole book is about their family playing this game that they always play. What do they call it? Assassin, where you get like a target and you have to like shoot them with the water gun throughout their whole time because they're there for a wedding. So they're kind of teaming up, they're always talking, they're always scheming. It's really cute. And then we have As It Was. I have Every Summer After. I don't have With Me. As It Was obviously says it's just us, but it won't be the same as it was. Every Summer After is about second chance romance. They connected when they were young, spent their summers together with family, and they connected when they were young, and then something happened. They haven't spoken in a while, and then finally she goes back to the house and sees him, and they are reconnecting again. The reason they stopped talking is very different from any other book I've read. I think he deserves a redemption. But anyway, I related it to As It Was because it says it won't be the same as it was, because if you know what happened in this book, it's just, there's no way it could be the same. Do you know what I mean? Definitely read this book if you want to feel this way and understand what I mean. And then I also related to All Your Perfects by Colleen Hoover. This is actually about a married couple. They met each other and things were so great. They were in their honeymoon phase for so long. They were able to connect on a relatable situation that they were in, and then you get them now, a few years later, when they're married and they have a lot of troubles going on. I guess it doesn't say really what the book is about, but a lot that's going on in their present grown-up life that they can't really fix. It's a hardship that they're going through, and it's not the same as it was at all. all. That's all I have for that one. Then we have Little Freak. I related it to Normal People. Please ignore my tabs. This is when I first started tabbing and they are really far out, so ignore that. But this is basically just a very character-driven book. If you haven't heard of Normal People, Marianne and Connell, they're never like actually together, but like it goes on throughout like their lives from high school to college to after college, and you just see them missing the chance to be together and just their lives kind of connecting and disconnecting and stuff. In Little Freak, it says, I'm not worried about where you are or who you'll go home to, I'm just thinking about you. And that's basically the whole essence of this book. Like, they're always in each other's minds, they love each other, they're thinking about each other, but they have other significant others at some points, and they're just like, they're not worried about what each other are doing, but they always end up reconnecting. It's really interesting. Little Freak. Then I have Daylight. I connected this to November 9th. Basically, this is about Fallon and Ben, and they meet and they spend their day together, but then the next day Fallon is moving across the country to go to college, so they say, okay, this date every year, you're gonna come back home and we're gonna hang out, connect, and whatever, so you get them every November 9th. And I connected this to Daylight because it basically says, if I was a bluebird, I would fly to you. They would literally fly to each other if they could. It says, you'll be the spoon, dip you in honey, so I could be sticking to you. Like, they want to be together so bad, but they can't because of the distance between them. I'm on the roof, you're in your airplane seat, literally like her going across the country. I hope you're missing me by now. Got me calling at all times, got me cursing the Daylight because time difference and everything. Like, I don't know, it just really resonates with the Daylight because it's like a long distance relationship, you know, they're trying to make it work. We're on the last one. Daydreaming, I have 2 books for us. 28 Summers. This is by Ellen Hilderbrand. This is about a couple spend kind of like November 9th, but like in a grown-up setting. They spend one weekend together every year. I think it's Labor Day weekend, something like that, but they are never actually together because it's her brother's best friend. He has another significant other, which is kind of iffy, but it works so well. I love Ellen Hilderbrand. And in Daydreaming, it says, living in a daydream, she said, love me like you paid me. You know, I'll be gone for so long, so give me all of your love, give me something to dream about. Literally living in a daydream. They're living like they're a couple for this one weekend. I'll be gone for so long. That whole year they're gone, they don't see each other. And it says, give me all your love, give me something to dream about. And basically that one weekend, they're giving it their all. It just makes sense. All of these make sense in my head. But I know I'm gonna go back to this video and start editing and just be like, none of this makes sense. I hope you take my word for it. And if you haven't read any of these and you like some of these songs, like, it just, maybe listen to the song while reading the book. I don't know. But those are all the songs and books that I have related to each other. If you liked some of the book recs, I hope you got at least one out of this, or maybe you found this entertaining watching me try to explain, because I'm so bad at it. I'm good at giving book recs if someone asks for one and like gives me like a description of what they want to read about, but when it comes to lyrics and songs, I'm not good at it. I will not make like playlists on Spotify. I'm the one that will go to search something in Spotify and find someone else's playlist. Other people have a better creative eye when it comes to songs, but I think I did a good job for what I know and what I feel like goes with these songs. I hope you enjoyed my book recs. I hope it makes sense. Let me know if you want another part 2 with other Harry songs, because I do have books for them. Maybe I'll try to figure out how to explain. I could do a Taylor Swift version if you want. I kind of want to low-key tier rank Harry Styles songs, or like maybe do the brackets to see what my favorite Harry Styles song. I don't know if anyone would want to see that. I might do that on my own time for funsies, but if you do want to see it, let me know, because that could be fun. Anything Harry Styles related, I will do. That's all for me. This was really fun. Just trying to come up with like the songs with the books and like going through all the books I've read and the song lyrics. It was really fun to do. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for letting me talk about my 2 favorite things in one video. This is the best thing I've ever gotten to do. Hope you have a great day. Thank you for watching, and I will see you hopefully in the next one. Bye!